What is going on, everybody? My name is Nick, and it is time for another album review. This time, naturally, I kind of have to do this one, of course, and it is to the debut album from Jellyfish Entertainment's brand new girl group, who I'm going to call GX9 because I like that name better than the Korean name. I don't know. It's personal. It's just a personal thing. It's not like their name actually in Korean has any problems, but I just like GX9 better, even though it sounds very, very similar to a very popular or well-known convenience store chain in Korea. I do realize that that's a thing, but GX9 is better and makes sense with the actual name. With the actual name of the Korean name of the group. So we're gonna check out their debut album, which is titled Act 1, The Little Mermaid, I believe. Yes, it is indeed. Which is cool, I guess. I mean, it's a pretty dead giveaway there on what the kind of content of this album is that you can expect. But it's not a bad thing. And I think that ultimately this video here is going to be a little bit shorter than normal, maybe, because, I tend to talk and ramble about things very, very frequently. But, for me, there's not really a whole lot to talk about to any sort of extent with this album, because you listen to their debut song and you basically get a really, really good idea of what you're gonna get with the rest of the album. Like I go into albums and look, because the thing is that sometimes, or a lot of times, when you listen to their promo song, the song that they're promoting their new album with, or that a group is promoting their new album with, the songs on the rest of the songs on the album don't necessarily fit with the style of their debut or their promotion, which is very, very, like, as an example, there's a really recent the Sonamu album, which I'm going to be reviewing shortly, is pretty similar to that in that regard, where like you listen to the promo song and then there's some songs that are on the album that are pretty different than what you would expect if you just went into it like expecting you're going to get the promo song. This one is not that way at all. Like you listen to Wonderland, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, that's what the name of it is, and then that's basically what you get with the other 4 or 5 songs on the album, 5, 6, something, I don't know. God. But that's not bad, right? I mean, so if you don't like Wonderland, you don't like the super girly sort of concept, that generic kind of debut girl group kind of sound and style and look, then you might not particularly get a whole lot of enjoyment out of this album. But for me, right, I really, really enjoyed their debut song. I enjoyed Wonderland. I think it's really, really great. And, it pretty much carries all the way through for the rest of the album. Their album is actually really good for, what it is. Even though, for me, as I've said with my review for that song, that style and sound doesn't really fit with what I like so much. I still really, really liked it. It's like I said, for what they are, for what the genre and the style and the sound is, what their concept is, their songs are, good, right? They're very good for what they are. The thing that I really like enjoy about this album, which is a frequent thing in everything in albums, and something that I kind of like to kind of look at from when I review something, is like how do we get from the first song on this album to the last, right? And that's kind of like what kind of journey did this album take us on through the different sounds and feelings and emotions and whatever that the arrangement of songs takes us on. And this one is pretty much a really smooth and like natural and slight transition from song number 1, super upbeat poppy, to the last song, which is definitely much more vocally based and not as pop. Everything is really pop, but the last song is definitely much more focused on the vocals and just killing the vocals, instead of having a really awesome pop music track to move that song along, which is nice. It's cool. It's good. Generally speaking, a K-pop album starts with the pop at the top, at the beginning of the album, and then you always have to end with a ballad for whatever reason. So it's basically a standard format or for the arrangement of songs. It's very, very good. And the The thing that I like about this, and the reason why I definitely say that you should listen to this even if you don't think you will like it, is because you'll probably find something in here that you like just because the vocal performances in like every song are really, really great. Like, these girls are super, super vocally talented. The vocal performances in all of these songs are really awesome. Definitely, and of course, naturally, it would be most apparent in the very last song on this album, because that is the one that is most vocally, biased, I guess you can say. And it's just, that song right there is really, really great, just by the fact that the vocals are killer. They're really good. It's really, really awesome. Obviously then that means that the group is very, very talented. I don't think they really were given choreography in their this comeback with their debut to like kind of show off their dancing skills so much. So who knows? I'm not going to make any sort of judgment on that really. But their vocal talent is great, and just based off of that, I think that they're going to have a pretty solid career coming up in the future. And it also doesn't hurt that they're from Jellyfish Entertainment, which has, not released really a bad song with VIX that I know of, or even a bad album, a bad VIX album that I've heard. So I'm definitely very, very confident that, Jellyfish Entertainment is going to do a really good job with this group. And, slowly and naturally and steadily building them up to be a really, really popular group, a group that everyone, knows by name. Everyone is familiar with VIX because VIX is pretty prominent. So this group will be pretty prominent on the same level I think that VIX is. Hopefully, maybe they'll even explode. I don't even know. Who knows what is going to happen? So my ultimate review, right, my rating of this, which is, as always, like, how would I spend my money on this? Like, this one is really difficult for me because on one hand, it's not really an album that like really kind of hits me in that spot where it's like I need to buy this, but at the same time it's like I really want to buy this because one, supporting good music and encouraging that, right? Because you spend your money, and that is where companies respond. Like, if they get a good profit, or if they get a good response with sales, then they're going to try and make something similar to that to try and hit that sales number or that market again. And if people don't buy it, then they're going to be like, well, people didn't like that so much, maybe it's time to try something new. So spending money to buy good music is always a good indication, a good way to let a company know that you like this release and you think they should do more in the future. So that's one reason why I would buy this. The second is that, just judging off the music video for their debut song, the packaging for this album is going to be really, really great. Like, the visuals were fantastic in the music video, and the visuals that are, the photo sets and whatever that they do for this album, for the physical packaging, I think is going to be really, really great as well. So, I definitely would consider buying this as a physical copy, just because it would be cool to like have it, and then when later on in their career, when they actually start making music that I really, really like, then I can be like, I have their entire collection, and I've been buying and I've been supporting them since their debut. So that's kind of the reasons. Like, I'm not really in love with it, but at the same time, I think that the product is really, really good. So I'm kind of like right now on the fence on whether or not I should buy this album. And when I buy stuff, it's mostly 100% of the time a physical copy that I can actually hold and put up on that shelf behind me. So I don't know. It's gonna be a decision to make. It's gonna be probably a decision that I make later on in the future, or later on in the year or something. But I'm probably going to buy this at some point because I, one, like the music and think that the product is good. So I want to like encourage Jellyfish to keep going with this, or to evolve and do stuff. So I don't know. That is it for the review. This was actually longer than I thought I was going to, but I was able to provide some meat to the like couple of points that I made, which I didn't think was going to make a very long video. But I want to know, what did you think of this album? If you haven't listened to it, you definitely should check it out, just because I think it's really worth listening to. And then when you do, let me know down in the comments. Tell me what your favorite song is. I don't have a favorite song. I think Wonderland, their promo song, is probably my favorite. So do that. Also, subscribe if you want to see more album reviews and music video reviews and anything else that I do. Hit that subscribe button to stay updated. So that is going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Just talking about why I was hyped for this group, where I was like, Jellyfish Entertainment, they held off on, starting up another group where a lot of other companies would have just jumped into it to try and see if it would, work out and try and rake in that cash that's potentially out there for them to get. But, they